Tiffany Henyard is facing a federal lawsuit, accusing her of discriminating against the church. Redeemed Christian Church of God Resurrection Power Assembly alleges the mayor and the village failed to apply Dalton's zoning code by preventing the church from renovating the building it purchased. The pastor said the church needed more space because attendance has gone up. The church has operated in Dalton for the past 10 years. We're waiting for a response to the lawsuit from the village.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hannibal here. This is the Hannibal is Hungry YouTube channel. Another Thursday live stream. As you see, the hits keep on coming for our super mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, enjoying the evening. Hopefully you had something to eat, had some dinner, had something to drink, all that amazing stuff. How many lawsuits that she's been, I don't know, handling the last couple of weeks? It just keep coming. You know, that lawyer is doing pretty well. We'll be talking about that. I don't know if we'll be talking about it in this show. We have a lot to get into, but we definitely will be going into that. So I see everybody here already. I see John in there. What's going on, John? What's going on, Herman? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Cherry? Checking in. Obviously Dalton is coming in. These people are amazing to continue to fight, to continue to do what they got to do to put the light on this mayor. And also, I guess we should give her some congratulations because she won an award, or she was recognized for the top 20 global women of excellence. Okay? All of these people. This happened yesterday. Top 20 global women of excellence. You see her face right there. I'm surprised I didn't see any pictures, any video from this. I'm sure it'll be there next couple of days. But global women. Global. I don't get it. I mean, what excellence have we seen from her thus far? And that's why politics blows. I mean, shout out to the people who are honest and have integrity and actually want to do things, because you see this. I'm sure everyone in this picture know who Tiffany Henyard is and all the things she's been accused of. And you think maybe you have the sense to say, you know what, Miss Henyard, don't show up. Like you're just going to embarrass us all. But politics is all about who you know and what they could do for you, unfortunately. But I definitely agree. Ridiculous. I mean, I looked at it when I got the screenshot and I said, you cannot make this up. Like you cannot. And I feel for the people in Dalton, because for 2 years, they were probably thinking, am I in some kind of bizarro world where shit just doesn't make sense and up is down and down is up? At this point, all of the news, all of the stories been coming out about her, and you're going to put her in this top 20 women of excellence? Is it tone deaf, or people just don't care? And I hope now that all the news has been going on and a lot of people are showing up. That board meeting was amazing. People are saying this is not acceptable behavior. That most of us get it, but there are some people who do not get it. And we'll be talking about that in this live stream. Talking to, I guess, a radio host. So I know a lot of people got a little upset by the thumbnail and thought I wrote that. Which, I mean, if you've seen, just watch like 2 videos of mine, you'll know that I did not write that message. That message was written by someone else. We'll be reading the entire post, and we're going to respond to that post because I think it's extremely important to separate some of the misconceptions and a lot of the talk about racism and being together in terms of being loyal to your race, all that type of stuff. We're going to be talking about that and more in this live stream today. Brilliant disguise with a really good comment. Let me put this up before I continue. Seriously, it's like Dalton is stuck in a bad reality TV show. That's perfect. Like it's in a show. Like, how is this reality? Why hasn't someone pulled a plug on this and people have been going to jail? Like I can see from the people that live in Dalton, it's an extremely frustrating experience. I hope they feel a little better now, but has to be extremely frustrating. I mean, and then as I posted this a couple of days ago, these are the $20,000 banners, right? Little under $20,000. As you see right there, welcome to Dalton. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. First black female mayor of Dalton, the youngest female mayor of Dalton. As you hang out through the streets of Dalton, you will see this $20,000. So we're going to talk to the people who support her. We're going to try to, it's easy to get angry and disrespectful and call them all types of names, but I want to try the approach of the arm around the shoulder approach rather than just calling names, because I think at this point you'll just be the mayor who calls people names and responds aggressively and nasty to people who do not agree with her. We're going to try to do it a little bit different in this live stream, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Also, this channel is closing in on 50,000 subscribers. I thank each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel, supporting the channel. Whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me, I appreciate all of your support. I can't believe it, to be honest. I started YouTube about 4 years ago. And over the last year, the channel has definitely exploded. So I appreciate every single one of you. Also, I want to do a little shout out to a fellow YouTuber. I'm going to show the channel. You guys should definitely be subscribed. They had a great live earlier today. And of course, my damn YouTube is just slow. Hold on a second. But yeah, Charwayne Burns had a great live. I just want to show you so you guys can go ahead, check her channel. Hopefully somebody can post her link to the chat so people can check this out. I just want to pop it up real quick. Yeah. So she had a live earlier today where she was able to talk to trustees Belcher and Brown. And perfect thumbnail. Where is the receipts? Because at this point, we're waiting for the mayor to finally tell us how none of this makes sense, right? We're all wrong and she's correct. We're still waiting and we're still waiting. But it was a great live. Shout out to her. Just wanted to, the more people come into the fold, bringing in information, bringing in the people on the ground there is a good thing. So I just want to do a little shout out there to her. And appreciate you guys for checking out my last video about Michael Wolff, another mayor getting in trouble, and he's going to jail 6 years for stealing about $2 million in taxpayer money. He also had some issues with electricity bills where he was not paying, but I guess he was powerful enough to just keep the electricity going. Him and his daughter owed tens of thousands of dollars of electricity. It was very odd, a very odd situation. And the thing was, he was going to go to trial, but he realized that he couldn't, and there was so much evidence that he was bidding or he was accepting bids for work that never happened. So all the thousands or millions of dollars to build roads in Hempstead were not done. So that's like the best evidence of your stealing, because where are the roads that you said that they're supposed to be completed? So he's in jail, and we'll see if Henyard may follow in his footsteps. So we definitely want to check about that, and I appreciate you guys for checking that out. How bad are you if a church sues you? That's a great question. That's a really good question. Definitely something's going wrong if a church is going after you. John Luna says Shawan's live with Trustee Belcher and County Clerk was very fun. Yeah, it was great. And how much is she giving you to probably show your simp colors? I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about the screenshot? Yeah, maybe that wasn't a great choice of screenshot, because I think a few people think I did it, which doesn't make any sense. But I understand, and we'll actually show the entire message. It was a Facebook message on Facebook, and I actually posted in my community tab. But I understand not everyone gets everything, so I totally understand some confusion with that. So don't worry about it. Excuse me. But before we get into some of the Tiffany Henyard stuff, real quick, I want to talk about this story real fast with you guys. because it was kind of weird. And I know Nate the lawyer talked about it, but I want to talk about it from this person right here. This judge, Sonia M. McKnight, this judge shot her boyfriend in the face. I'm not making that up. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I said, wait, what? So this judge over here, McKnight, I mean, at one point was a respectable judge, I'm assuming. She started her judge duties 2016 and, you know, doing her usual thing. But it's interesting because now she had to post bail, I think $300,000 for basically, they said allegedly shooting her significant other in the face while he was sleeping. This was not the first time she shot someone in the past. So, and let me show you this. Let me show you the website. They're talking about this as well. Yeah. So this is not the first time. So this happened in 2019, where she was involved in a shooting where she shot and wounded her estranged husband. So this happened in her home, and the husband sustained a gunshot wound to the groin. I couldn't believe the kind of pain, like getting shot in the groin. But anyway, so she did that. Now, the case was, well, they say thoroughly investigated. They say, but after a careful review of the evidence, the Attorney General office concluded that McKnight acted in self-defense. All right, cool. She had to protect herself. You know, you got to do that. You got to do what you got to do, right? So at that result, no criminal charges were filed against her, right? So this was the decision that they had with the Attorney General. So the problem is, now we see there was another relationship. This is the one that she currently getting in trouble with. She had a relationship with Michael McCroy. So after a year-long romance or relationship, whatever you want to call it, right? McCoy said, you know what? I don't want to be with you anymore. He tried to end the relationship, right? He tells this judge, Sonia McKnight, leave my home. You know, you said, leave my home. We're done. We're no longer in this relationship anymore. Now, the problem is, according to the court documents, he asked her multiple times to leave his home, and she said no. How scary is that when you're done with a relationship, right? And maybe you guys live together, but maybe you own the home or the apartment or whatever is in your name. And whether, you know, and you actually a significant other, like, this relationship is not working. So let's plan, or let's just figure out how you can move on with your life and I can move on with mine, you move out. And the person says, no, I'm not leaving. Like, no, I'm not going anywhere. That's scary. It doesn't matter, man or woman. Like, if you are in a relationship with someone and they say, you tell them to leave and they don't leave, like, I mean, this person's a judge. I'm sure financial is not an issue, but he asked this woman several times to leave my house. So obviously the situation escalated where, despite ending the relationship and removing McKnight's house key from her key ring, he returned home and found her still in the house. So this is just, I don't know, I guess, in hindsight, he probably should have called the cops. Or I don't know what was the situation going on with that situation, but he kept trying to stop. And then on one night last month, McKnight allegedly shot McCroy in the face while he slept with a firearm registered in her name. The bullet wound didn't kill him, but caused severe injuries, leaving McCoy partially blind. Partially blind. So the evidence against her is pretty damning, clearly. The gunshot residue was on her hands, a presence at the scene by the 911 call that she made, pretending that she didn't know anything about the incident. So she was just being ignorant. I looked at the story and I was like, this is absolutely insane. Like, what's going on? These people, what's going on? You're shooting people in the face. Like, yeah, I mean, clearly squatting and then not shooting. Like Judge Dredd out here, just losing her mind. And that's how you end the relationship. Or, I mean, okay, he has to die. Did she want his home? I mean, so she's arrested, attempted murder, and aggravated assault, $300,000 bond or bail. Should it be a bail set for that? I mean, I'm in New York City, so there's no bail here. People do what they want, and then they just like, all right, you book you, and then you just leave, probably the same day, right? But if you shoot someone in the face, should you receive any kind of bail? There should be no bail for you. Like, no, no. I mean, gunshot residue on the hands. You basically, it looks like you did it. The gun is registered in your name, but you're able to post a bail up, and also able to post bail of $300, which I think is 10% of the bail. But you have money to leave before shooting the man in the face. You should not be bailed out. That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys think in the chat. That's scary. It doesn't matter if the person doing the crime is a man or a woman. Domestic violence is not. I mean, obviously, it's one of the worst things you can do. The best thing is to obviously separate, move on. But it seems like this person has a pattern, and I guess the first time, maybe it wasn't as clear cut as self-defense. Maybe her history being the judge, she was able to get away with that. This is just opinion. I'm not exactly sure exactly how that case went. But for it to happen again, and this man is sleeping, and then you call the 911 and you pretend that you don't know what's going on. You think someone came in and shot him in the face. Like, really weird. You gotta be really, really, really weird. Hopefully, she gets her just due and does no longer shoot people in the face. But I just want to talk about that because I thought that was a wild, absolutely wild story. But now let's get back into the main course here, and that's Tiffany Henyard. One favor I want to ask you guys. So, someone emailed me about this YouTuber that is trying to get more information from Dalton about Chief Lacey. So I want to show you guys his message, because I think it's extremely important. I emailed him, but the man has like 1 million subscribers. So I know he gets a lot of email, but I think it's important that we try to get his attention. So he has a post where his Tommy G. He said, "Attention, Dalton, Illinois residents. I'm looking for your help to bust a cop who has a history of beating the shit out of people. He targeted me and my team yesterday, and he has a complaint file the size of a Harry Potter book. Anyone who has experienced excessive force or dirty policing at the hands of Officer Lacey and his team, please email immediately so we can amplify your voice. Justice must be restored in the land of Dalton, Illinois. I don't tolerate bullies. He is Mayor Tiffany's goon," which is 100% true. "And with your help, he won't be much longer." And then you see Lacey's big dumb face right there. So I want to try to get his attention. So if you check out his videos, actually they're pretty good. He does documentaries. He's on the ground. He's on the ground. He travels in the worst areas in the country. So he's in Houston. He was in the Bay Area. So he's kind of like the Vice. Well, Vice used to be before, I don't know, they kind of went all to shit. But his name is Tommy G. He has basically almost 1.4 million subscribers. Let's try to get his attention. Send a comment. Just try to because I have the email. I sent it to him. But I'm going to try to get him to get more information about Lacey, because Lacey is a problem. He's a huge problem. Long history of being a goon, doing the bidding of the mayor. Even at the meeting, I received reports of him trying to kick out anyone that was clapping. So if you notice in the last board meeting, people came out and they were very adamant about giving Henyard and Keith Freeman the business. And anytime someone else said something that caused people to clap, like I think ex-trustee Stubbs were clapping, that Lacey was trying to kick people out of the meeting. He is not a cop. He's a bodyguard for the mayor. He should not be he shouldn't be a police officer. So we really need to figure out how to get more attention onto him, to even try to give pressure to Henyard to relieve him of his duties. So far, obviously, she seems like she's going to keep anyone who believes the nonsense that she's talking about, and also is getting paid well enough to continue that. So it's a problem, but I want you guys to at least help us out and try to get his attention. Let him know, hey, Hannibal, send you an email. We can give him as much information as possible so we can really put this guy on blast. I mean, I think that's the most important part right here. So, but yeah, I want to get into this. We got see a comment right here. I want to read this from Haleen Brooks. My damn mouse is acting up. Hold on. Coming to it. Lacey's alleged to be a straight up psychopath. Thank God I never personally dealt with him, but I've heard many stories. I've seen, we've talked about it. I have a video a couple of weeks back. They basically had a whole news story about his involvement with someone that was suffering with a mental episode, how heartless he was. These are the kind of people we call bad cops, right? I say most cops are good people, but there's some people who are drawn to being a police officer because of the power and that kind of power that comes with it. And most can't handle that kind of power, those kind of people. And I think Officer Lacey is one of those people. He needs to not have a gun. He should not have any power because he is doing a lot of unethical things, basically illegal things. So we're going to keep our foot on his neck as well. That's why we need as much people on. And you can get a YouTuber that has 1 point something million subscribers. He has massive reach, and judging from his videos, I definitely think he'll be able to kind of break this down. Sherry says former trustee Stubbs was told she was being put out. So basically, they were trying to kick her out, but obviously Stubbs is gangster. She ain't got time for that. She stood her ground. But this is what is trying to create this narrative of why no one can clap anymore if someone said something they appreciate. Like, come on. Obviously, everything is a personal affront to the mayor if you say something that you don't, she doesn't like. So, but that's unfortunate. But we're gonna keep our eyes on him and just keep the pressure going. Tiffany hired him because he's dirty. Yeah, I mean, the amount of mugshots from her team, either mugshots or history or stories of illegal activities or unethical activities, the whole squad. That's probably why they're so tight. They all been doing something wrong, and also never made the kind of money that she's able to provide them. So they're very, very, very loyal to her. Like the guy with the waterworks about to argue with Trustee Brown when all she said is, well, if I'm calling the office and I'm not answering, a more mature person, a true leader say, you know what, if I'm running a department and if people are calling and can't get through, instead of trying to get offended and try to talk over her and be disrespectful, take a step back and say, you know what, let's see, let me talk to my people. Is the phone ringing? Is anyone answering the phone? That's all she was saying. And for him to get all aggressive, it is what it is. He has a criminal record. Maybe that's just his pattern of behavior, right? Actually, do I still have that right there? Let me see if I still have it on my. I may have taken off my thing, but oh yeah. So this dude right here, apparently he likes silencers, and he was hired by Tiffany Henyard. So that's what we have to deal with her team. Is it true that Lacey has $100,000 Durango SRT Hellcat for? If anyone, Cherry, I don't know if you know. Those are all nice vehicles. I say that. The ones that are almost going to be repossessed. And mind you, remember Lacey said that was handled. Clearly, that was a lie, or he just doesn't know what he's talking about. But let's get into the main man that I want to respond to, Mr. Tio Hardiman. I am terrible with names, but I want to show you guys what this message here. And this is the man that wrote it. I'm not putting it up. Oh, there you go. There you go. Actually, let's put it full screen so you guys can read it along with me. So he has posted multiple times on his Facebook defending the mayor. So this is, I guess, his response for posting those previous posts. So he says, some people were upset with me for supporting Tiffany Henyard. However, I stand by my initial post. As a black man in the United States, I cannot go against a black woman. We all have room for improvement. Tiffany has not killed anybody, but she has not been in the office long enough to steal millions of dollars. And she might have made some questionable decisions, but no one among us is perfect. When you think about how black women have been treated for decades, then you might take another look at supporting Tiffany more than trying to destroy her. Black people calling FBI on a black woman. How does that really sound? Sounds like extreme hate to me. When African people ran away from their slave masters, you always had another African person chasing down the runaway African person to prove the slave master that he or she is loyal to the very person that keeps them both in bondage. Get off the plantation. For the record, I am not on Tiffany payroll. No one has paid me to post this information. Wake up, my people. So that's what our dude, Tio Hardiman, hope I pronounced his name right, had to say about that. So, and let me know what you guys think in the post, in the chat, with your thoughts. I mean, right here, race has nothing to do with this. That's what I always thought. That was the first thing. Even when I see tons of response, some comments be like, oh, you guys are going after a black woman. And I'm like, all right, if you don't know the story, and if that's your first response, I mean, that's sad, but that's all right. You're totally ignorant of all the information that's there. I totally understand that. But I did listen to his, a little bit of his, radio show. It was he had a post on his Facebook. So I didn't know him. And there's actually a post that happened earlier today that talked about him. Shout out to Big Mike for this post. He says, I know Tio Hardiman, the author of the post. I respect his work he has done by creating ceasefire and violent interrupters, ex-gang members to talk to current gang members strategy. So I was checking out his radio show. And yes, he is an advocate for ending the gang violence in Chicago. He wrote a book on Amazon. So I want to show you a little bit of everything. We'll get the whole context before we kind of get into who this person is. So he's obviously someone who cares about his community, and he wants to stop a lot of the gun violence. Let me show you the book that he's selling on Amazon. Let me see if I find it. Yeah, so Interrupting Gun Violence, a public health approach. So he is trying to stop the situation that's happening in Chicago. I'm sure you guys all know what's going on in Chicago. So he's coming in with that approach, or at least he's coming in with, he wants his people to do better for themselves. So I give him respect for that. Sherry says Tio doesn't know the mayor. He doesn't even know how to pronounce his friend's name. I can't pronounce names either. He isn't invested in Dalton, and we're not giving him any energy. He wants to promote his 7 a.m. Sunday show. I understand that, but I believe that we should still go after this narrative here, because during the radio show, there were people calling and basically saying the same thing. And I think a lot of it is a lack of knowledge of what's going on. It is basic ignorance. But there are people, and I've seen many comments saying that we're going after this woman because she's black. What happened to the other people? What's going on over here or over there? What about this situation? What about that? It's kind of similar to conservatives when anytime you ask them something or you mention something about violence or a situation over here, they'll be like, well, what happened to Chicago? Like, well, I don't live in Chicago, so I'm talking about this particular example of what's going on. So it's like, is that a whataboutism that doesn't help anybody? So I kind of want to help him if he is watching, or someone can let him know, or if you are watching right now and you think that there's something up here and like, why are they going after her so aggressively? I think 90% of us who are checking out some news articles, checking out YouTube videos, just spending time researching, you realize, no, there's something here. This isn't some kind of scapegoating. Like, no, this is a huge problem. So that's why I want to talk to him directly, and anyone else who kind of feels this way. So, the efforts to tackle street violence in Chicago is commendable. We need more people to do that, right? Like those who work tirelessly on these issues. You understand the nuances of the community, you understand the complexities of the challenges they face. It's not just a bunch of random maniacs doing this. It's a lot. There's a lot going on to why we have the violence in inner city, right? Whether if you're in Chicago, or if you're in New York City, or if you're in LA, there's a lot going on. It's complex. Maybe it was easy to solve. We would have solved it, right? But in this context, right, we're talking about a conversation about leadership, local leadership, but just leadership in general, right? The mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is not a good leader. Right? Like her leadership style. Let's talk about leadership and go into a deeper significance, right? Strong ethical leadership is a cornerstone of any effective community. community work, right? Like being a great leader can help reduce some of the gang violence in Chicago, or trying to reduce that stuff. Like you need to have effective leadership. So when you dedicate yourself to the community, you need to able to hold our leaders to the highest standards of accountability and integrity. That's why a lot of us are going after Mayor Henyard. She's not showing standards of accountability and integrity. So when, as a community activist, is working to improve the safety and well-being of the neighborhoods, but they also strive for leadership that echoes those commitments. If you see the mayor running up the bill, cursing out, and not won't say cursing out, being extremely nasty to her fellow, at this point, I know it's co-workers, she's a mayor, but these are people who are helping her run the government. The way she's talking to them, how does that help the community? It doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, and when you have allegations, sure, she's not in jail yet, not yet. It's important to her to face these allegations and answer them. She's saying everyone is lying. Well, we're still waiting for the receipts, right? So yes, a lot of people are talking. We all have the right to talk about this because it's a big problem. So this is not just a mere matter of what's legal and what's not, right? But it's about accountability. It's about maintaining the trust in the community. The one that she keeps saying that she won 82% of, and that show there's a little, not necessarily the most accurate representation of what happened to her becoming a mayor. But leaders should serve as pillars to their communities. You're embodying some principles. You're supposed to be a little bit above us. Guys are not leaders, right? So if you're trying to stop gun violence, you need to be able to respect each other, supposed to have, this equal opportunity, equal justice. These are things that we're trying to address. So it's not about her being black. And him obviously being a citizen that's trying to help. Citizen engagement and having other types of perspectives are important in the community. So again, when those people were at the meeting, they were expressing themselves. They're saying like, this is wrong. Things are not getting done. You're embarrassing the community. Like the only things they were telling to the mayor and Keith Freeman, this is important. And there were black people there criticizing a black mayor. But at that point, does it matter? Does it really matter her race? In my opinion, it doesn't. And supporting leaders, right, or people means to expect that represents all of the facets of the community that they're handling here. So when you talk about gun violence, like you want to have a community of constructive criticism, right? They've tried that, but telling her she shouldn't spend all this money. And then her response is to find other ways to get the money. And then at one point, just stop showing any level of transparency of what she's doing with the village credit cards. So this is not about race. And it's kind of sad that he has that kind of idea. But before I even do that, I was supposed to show the video. I totally forgot. Let me show a little bit of what he said. It was not long. I think he had about an hour show, but it's just a little clip of what he was saying. And I kind of already addressed it, but let me put it on anyway.
Down to it again here. So the mayor of Dalton put a post up saying that in reality, man, I could never ever understand how black folks in particular would want to push a black woman where they want the FBI to investigate her. The black people are doing this now. I don't know who's behind everything. I'm not saying Tiffany is perfect. Hear me clearly. Tiffany may not be perfect, but I just do not believe that she has broken any laws of the land, right? She's been accused of stealing money. She hasn't been in office long enough, in my opinion, to steal no millions of dollars, right? She's been accused of all kinds of wrongdoing. And remember the word allegations and accused of, right? Opposed to anything she's done. So that's the reason I'm speaking up for her for right now, because I don't think it's right to put a witch hunt out on the young lady. She may have gotten a little big-headed here or there because she's a woman in power. And usually when people...
That was weird. She had a big head because she's a woman. Anyone hear that? That was weird. Let me repeat that. Let me rewind that real quick.
Big-headed here or there because she's a woman in power. And usually...
What? So when a when a woman gets power, she can get big headed and misspent. I mean, I want to say, I mean, he may have misspoke, but in terms of stereotypes, not good, right? I mean, if you want to say like stereotypes of black people is wrong, then stereotyping women in power is wrong too. Like, again, let me know if that was kind of weird the way he said that.
When people get in power initially, sometimes people may make some decisions a lot of people do not understand, right? And on a comical level, Dave Chappelle, the comedic genius of Dave Chappelle, when he was playing Rick James in a comedy sketch with Charlie Murphy, Charlie Murphy and his brother Eddie Murphy were beating up Rick James on the couch, and Rick James, being played by Dave Chappelle, said he should have never gave them brothers money. I'm not going to say it the way that he said it on the comedy sketch, but if you remember that comedy sketch, you will see what brother Dave Chappelle said. And the reason I mention that is because when people get money sometimes, we change. Some people change for a moment, then they have to get used to getting the money, then they calm back down and come back around to everybody. So those things happen in the world. So if you want to call in today at 773-591-1690 and have a conversation with your brother, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman, when it comes down to any of these issues, crime on the CTA.
Okay. So it's kind of like it's kind of like if she's talking about black people and okay, she had money, she's spending irresponsibly, but then she'll calm down. So why we have such low expectations of ourselves that if someone is, let's just say that Tiffany Henyard is not a really nasty person that's vindictive and nasty. Like we remove all that. And we have someone you hired to be whatever, a mayor, right? You elected her to be a mayor, elected him to be a mayor, and they just start spending like crazy. And they're a super nice person. They're super sweet. And they're spending money recklessly and making tons of bad decisions. That person needs to be fired, like needs to be let go, needs to be recalled. So even if it's not malicious, it's incompetent. We can't have incompetent leadership. We can't have incompetent mayor or any kind of public official. So to apologize and deflect and defend someone when they are making bad decisions doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what his rationale is. I agree with Sherry. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Is he? I mean, I don't know what kind of. I know people do that, right? They'll say some provocative things for attention, but it's like ignorance. Like you don't even know what you're talking about. And then again, he's trying to apologize for the behavior. Like, how about, no, we hold everyone accountable. Doesn't make any sense. And I understand the history of black people with the FBI it's not the cleanest history here. But the problem is that she is committed, or at least alleged to commit crimes across state lines. That's when the feds come in. That's how it works. The feds come in when you are traveling all over the place. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to look up, or at least we're going to give him some more information about at least some of the things we can explain on why so many people have problems with her. Obviously, people are getting, she's getting sued by the churches. Trustees they're suing. Everyone is suing. There's a lot of problems. But okay, let's just kind of get back into the foundation. Why there's so much issue with the foundation? Well, the first thing, it seems like it's a lot of misuse in public resources. So the use of any kind of public resources in public employees and resources for personal or foundational related activities, especially when it's funded by taxpayers, is unethical and illegal. Tio. So when we see certain things like $10,000 coming from the township to go to a foundation, that's a problem, man. And we need to able to say put that out there, right? So let me put this up. Where is that? Where is that? So when we see this right here, uploading right now. So $10,000 coming from the township going into a 10-year, her CARES Foundation. This is a charity. that shouldn't be there, right? Like, why are you putting in money? And there's a lot more to this, because again, remember she said, I didn't start this. I have no idea what's going on. Remember, she told that to Roland. She told that to Angela Lee. I'm just a face, or I don't know. People just put things in my name and I just run with it. Like, none of that made any sense. And we can back that up with a lot of information. This poorly worded message saying I will be testifying before the Revenue Committee. I'll show you a video about that. A bill I created. The only people that can sign bills are like she can't sign a bill, so she doesn't know what she's talking about. But I'm gonna show you the video of her testifying about this. But she says she didn't know anything about it. She said that she changed. She has a Good Burger business. She changed the name of the Facebook to go to Tiffany Harris Foundation. Remember, she told you, lied to a black man, Tio. Like, listen. She had an interview with Roland, another black man. She lied to his face. So I don't know if you care about that or whatever, but lied and said, I had nothing to do with it. She does have something to do with it. So let's listen to her testifying from this committee talking about this, the foundation. Wait, no sound. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta get the sound right. Let me see if the other video works. If I don't have the sound, I'm gonna have to redo that. Let me see if this one works. Actually, what is that? No, sharing is canceled. Okay. Oh, damn it. All right. Not gonna work. I did not have. Actually, maybe I can still do it. Hold on a second. Maybe I can still do it. I had to change the files, and maybe I made a little hiccup. I guess I should have played it before I started. But let me see. Maybe I can still play it directly from my computer. All right, Henyard. Where did I put it? Damn it. That's a problem. I don't have Mac. I have PC, so it could only hear the voice. All right, it only can hear the voice, but it's better than nothing. So let me see if I can slide this in. Let me go over here. See if that would work. Yeah, so you're gonna hear it, but unfortunately the video won't be there. Oh, I can't do that either. Damn it. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm not able to show the damn video. But basically, she talks about how she tried to set this up, try to set up this foundation. But we still have a little bit more stuff to share other than the video. But the problem is, and the biggest issue that we have with the foundation is a lot of the spending that happened with that march to Springfield, right? She talked about going to Springfield. Let me show you the file there of her talking about how, it's an amazing thing that she's doing, making sure that everyone is aware of cancer. She's raising money. She's doing all this amazing stuff, right? It's supposed to be this special, very amazing situation here. She's trying to help everybody out, right? So this was the 2022 annual cancer walk. Now, hopefully you're able to see everything here. So she's selling shirts for $25, hoodies for $50. And there's something else I want to show you real quick that you see in this photo here. I'm gonna zoom it in real quick so you guys can know, because this is actually important. Pay attention to this address right here, because we'll be talking about that in a little bit. But you see right here, now this is a foundation charity. So it has nothing to do necessarily with the village. This is her own thing, right? But the problem is she used a lot of that money, the money she got to do what she had to do, from the village funds. I mean, just simple as that. Like right here, Let me show you this right here real quick. So those sweaters, right? Those sweaters, the t-shirts, whatever. She spends $280, right? That's a lot of money for some damn shirts and some hoodies. That's a lot of money. Don't you think so? That's a lot of money. That's $17,000 of the, again, taxpayer money to do this. You know, what's the excuse for that? And then she sold them, right? The problem is, what happened to that money? Right here. Just zoom in a little bit more there. What happened to the money? This is paid. This is not paid by her. This is paid by taxpayer money. Where is it? And she sold those sweaters again. And someone had a really good comment about this. If she did something positive with the foundation, right? Gave people wigs, did something. Where's the video? Because, you know, she loves showing videos about all the positive things she done. She has not said anything about it. Is there any person saying, wow, I benefited from this? They gave me something. They gave me support. So she sold a bunch, and actually I have a video, hopefully this video works, of her basically selling merch, right? Selling this merch. So let me show you this real quick. Like selling the merch. Like, hey, we got all these shirts and everything for you guys. Blah 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 blah. All this amazing things. Like she's just selling her stuff here. Let's see where I'm at.
Phil, here we come. And remember, anybody wants to donate, go to thcares.org. And you can donate, buy a sweater, t-shirt, hoodie, and our cancer walk.
Okay. Where's that money went? Who knows? Definitely ain't going to help anybody out, or at least what I have seen. I haven't seen anything. So just by simple either ignorance, claiming to sign a bill when you don't have the authority to do so is misleading, or you're just dumb. I don't know. It's definitely unethical, because when you say certain things, are you trying to deceive other donors, some right donors that really thought that you were talking about something that made sense? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Township paid for it, and when she sells shirts, made checks payable to Tiffany Hayes Cares Foundation. Yeah, so she took that money and I guess just probably pocketed. Like, where is any evidence of her helping someone with cancer? Anyone? Like, anyone? Any idea? I mean, you guys let me know. I don't know, right? So I showed you that. Actually, oh, sorry, John. I just saw your super chat, $10. Appreciate it. Great show as usual. Keep up the great coverage, and I appreciate your perspective on this situation. Thank you. So I told you guys to look at that address, right? 14121 on Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, right? So the reason why I brought that up, at least actually we'll show you one more thing. Remember, if you guys looked up the foundation, you saw that it was, I think at one point Keith Freeman was on that, right? Keith Freeman was on the paperwork of, okay, this is the one that's helping out the person that was supposed to be helping out the foundation or whatever. Right. His name was supposed to be here as the agent. Remember, it was Keith Freeman. So there's Tiffany Hayes Cares Foundation. This guy, Mr. Victor right here. Now, all of a sudden, he's the agent. And that's very interesting, because it's like, yo, who's Victor? Like, who is this person that now is no longer Keith Freeman, but is this guy? And I'm thinking too, like, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Like, what is he all about? So the reason why I brought this up is there's some connections here, Victor and other people involved. So let me show you some of the other businesses that this guy Victor is an agent for. So right here, and this is all you guys can look this up. I'll put the links to these websites. It's all public information, but you look at this website right here, and he is an agent for Rock Island Clothing and Rock Island Bistro and Rock Island Transporting Incorporated. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Who owns those businesses that he is an agent for? Well, like, that's interesting. When you look that up, you find out that Kamal Woods is the president. He ran these businesses. So if you guys may not know who Kamal Woods is, he is allegedly, and at this point, everyone in Dalton apparently knows this, the boyfriend of Tiffany A. Henyard, and apparently he's married, and he's not married to Tiffany Henyard. That's what the word on the street says. And also, you're like, well, why are you talking about Kamal Woods? Like, what other connections he has here, right? Well, the problem is he's also paid. He has a job in the township as a youth director. Let me actually see if I can find this here. It's a lot of screenshots, but he's getting paid $100,000 to be a manager of the youth grant. Doing pretty well for himself. Conflict of interest is probably the first thing coming in my head. So the agent for the CARES Foundation shares the same agent as her boyfriend that's married's company. All this sounds really legit, right? This sounds like a legit foundation that helped people with cancer. Don't sound like it's a weird pay for play, some kind of scam going on. Not at all. And I'm being sarcastic when I say that. But Kamal Woods is heavily involved in a lot of this shady behavior. So that's why I'm saying there's a lot of connections here, Tio, if you're still watching, there's some shady stuff, man. And let's not just say, well, because she's a black woman. It's like, no, there's a lot of problems here that we need to address. Like Mr. Roland Martin said, I have questions, even though the guy could have just looked up this stuff before, and then right on the spot could have got it. But yeah, this individual, Kamal Woods, this guy right here, rockislandclothing.com. And there's a lot more that we're going to get into, maybe not necessarily in this live stream, but a lot to get into with the properties that's being sold, being brought, their names on everything. See, there's the thing too about, is she just evil or just incompetent? So these people they're committing, there's definitely some crimes here. There's some fraud going on. And everything is searchable, like with the internet. Prior history of companies, changing names of companies, buying companies, all this stuff is on the internet. And I don't know if they just didn't know where the internet exists or something, but I don't know. I mean, it's extremely, extremely rife with a lot of questionable charity operations. I mean, that's probably the best way I can put it. False advertising. You're promoting activities and accomplishments. Have they even occurred? Are they exaggerated? That's unethical, right? I mean, Mr. Kamal, obviously, this is just so much going on. So let's go back to the address that I showed earlier. The address I showed right here. So what was that? 4121 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. That's where the Tiffany A. Henyard's CARES Foundation, right? That's where it's located. Now, if you go to I think thcares.org, go there now. You can't go there. Like that website is down, which is interesting for a foundation, why the website is down. But I looked. Anyone can check now. I couldn't get in. So the reason why I brought this up is she did something really weird. She shelled out about $30,000 in rent that came from her campaign, right? That's right, to fund the foundation. So let me show you that. And again, all this is, you can look this up. You can look this up, you guys, yourselves. This is not anything that, is made up here. Let me see. Let me show you that real quick here. So this is Friends of Tiffany Henyard is a campaign fund, and she paid $10,000 and $20,000 to this company here, receptive name Renomat Properties, right? So like, what is Renomat Properties? What do they own? Well, if you just just go on the internet, you'll see the address that I just posted, 1421. I can't read now. 121 Chicago Street, but same address with the same property opening, Renomat Properties. So she's taking money from campaigns to fund foundations. Wrong. You using campaign funds for purposes not related to the electoral campaigns or holding office is at least point legally problematic, right? Depends on the laws and what's going on. But campaign finance is campaign finance issues, right? Because campaigns are supposed to be meant to support campaign activities, electoral operations, that type of thing. The duties related to holding office, not paying rent for your foundation. Not good. Not good at all. So when you look this stuff up, right? And you go to Tio that says, I can't trust, as a black man, I can't go with anyone that criticizes a black woman. So basically you could be disrespected by anybody. As long as they're black, you're okay with it. So back in Chicago, when there's a black man shooting another black man or miss their target, hits a black child in a stray bullet. What do you mean? You can't support that because he's black? That part doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I understand, it would make any sense to even address that situation? TL's and his comments, probably not. But I think this is important because a lot of people here believe this. I got a message right here. Kirk Morton, hey, between yourself, Nate, O'Shea, Pink Book, I think that's probably actual Justice Warrior and others getting millions of views per post. Is there anything we can do for the people of Dalton? Obviously you want to support. There's a lot of Facebook groups. I think the Dalton Politics. As long as you're watching and you are supporting their effort, that's all they need. Because at this point, we're waiting for the shoe to drop. The FBI is investigating. Enough people that they should have all this information and stuff that they already know. It's just why they're taking so long. That's a better question. I don't know why they're taking so long. It's really disappointing. And they were fighting. The people in Dalton were fighting a long time to get more people to care about the situation because of how outrageous it is. Right, this is all the paper trail. We call it like the digital trail that's been there for years. But the problem is the story just never became as widespread as it is now because of how outrageous she is. So there's a lot of problems. And we can go more into some of the bills and how they spend the money using the village of Dalton to take, again, that trip to Springfield. So according to credit card reports, the trip to Springfield cost taxpayers about $100,000. Let me repeat. That trip to Springfield cost roughly $100,000. Paid for or paid by the taxpayers. So I'm gonna show you one. It's a lot of records, but just show you some of where I can show you. It says paid by the village of Dalton to things that had nothing to do with the people in Dalton. So put this one credit card receipt here. Now I'll blow this up so in case you guys can't see it, but Kansas City, Keith Freeman, Village of Dalton. He's spending about $4,000 here. And again, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna blow it up so you guys, if you guys can't see, so don't worry about it. So I'm bouncing around between making a screenshot and posting it, but just to show you his name and what he's doing. Yeah, let me do that real quick. So just to show you guys, so you guys won't, I'm just making it up. So Keith Freeman, Village of Dalton, Kansas City. Is Kansas City in Dalton? I don't know. About what 4,600 bucks right there. So they're just spending all the money, right? Totally legit, not terrible at all, right? Not a problem. That's what they're doing with the taxpayers' money. So let me show that again. It's Kansas City. Paying, just running up the credit cards. Just running them up. Let me see this let's see some more invoices here. Let's see. Yeah, there's just so many screenshots, guys, but I appreciate your patience. I'm just trying to, get through to some of the people here who have some skepticism. Like, this is you have to realize, like, this is kind of weird, right? Like, this is not legit. This is not how things should be running. Right? Like, so like right here, Crown Plaza, spending about another $2,700. Village of Dalton. The Village of Dalton here. This shouldn't be here. Right? Just throwing it out there. Let me see what this is right here. So the Village of Dalton, this is around time when you look at the screenshot. What is that? About October was that March on Springfield. They're running up the credit cards, man. Like $43,000. And this is just half of what was spent. During that March to Springfield, which you could basically, it was about $100,000. There was 5 to 10 police officers, all available for 12 days of this walk, right? Public works employees, township employees, all this to boost her brand and her ego. And all this going to eventually will be seen by the FBI. So this is not, again, so all this you think, man, damn, they should have been, something should be happening right now. But this is where we are. This is where we are. And let me see if there's anything else I can show. It's a lot. But just spending all that money. And again, how that benefit the people in Dalton? How? It just boosted one person's ego, one person's footprint. And maybe that's the reason those goofballs gave her the top 20 global women of excellence, because of a really stylish, nice little video. She made it seem like she was doing something, even though there was no bill, because mayors don't, like, there's no bill to be signed or made or anything like that. So you see right here, at Illinois, so you can see at the very bottom, Springfield, Illinois. Everyone's getting taken care of in this one. You got Holmes. You got, what's that? Stan Brown. You see Lacey. You see a lot of familiar names and people that they're hanging out. They're spending all of this money. And again, going back, it's being paid for by the Village of Dalton. And all this eventually should be on the FBI's desk, if they have like a special desk with all the documents and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Thank you. The bills you just held up was the Crown Plaza, one was time, and one was the village. Oh, okay. The folded. Okay, so the other one was from the township, and the one was folded. Yeah. But even then, just some of the things that we already seen here, the things that we already talked about, it's a problem. It's a problem. Is it incompetence? Even if it's just incompetence, they shouldn't be running anything. They really shouldn't be running anything. if it's just incompetence. It don't seem like they are equipped to do much of anything. But there's also a lot of shadiness is going on with some of the stuff. And hopefully, I'm going to try to do another live next week. I'm going to try to get this better organized. This laptop is blowing my mind. I need like Zoom glasses to see everything. But just by some of the stuff that I've seen, some of the stuff that's already been reported, I don't see how they're going to be able to fix this. That's why they become so secretive and don't want to be transparent. They're trying to find ways to get away with this. And I don't know how they're going to figure this out. And yeah, we just talked about that. We had a video. I just posted that earlier on. Tiffany caught a new lawsuit today from a church in Dalton. Yeah, we put that on earlier. She's catching all types of strays, and not just strays. These are direct hits on how she is running things. And so I don't know if Stephanie's still here. The 15 million she claims is coming in. Has she explained what that is? And like, because I've been looking around trying, because she's mentioned it at least in obviously the Roland interview and the Angela Yee interview that she brought in $15 million. Even it doesn't matter. Even if you secured some great grant by taking money ethically from taxpayers, and then like, well, yeah, I took all this money, but look, I brought 15. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work that way. But I'm wondering if that's possible. If she actually is going to be able to bring that out. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else we can talk about. Wait, what's this? I don't know if I show that one. What's this? Okay, I already did that. Okay, cool. But this is just a small amount, and there's a lot more that we will continue to monitor, and there's a lot more to buy. You know, there's so much. The last thing we want to do is get too overwhelmed with all of the characters involved here. But I would just say, for the most part, that there's enough evidence that there's some illegal things going on with this foundation, that she's just a foundation. And we're not even talking about the other stuff. Obviously, going across the country, she could probably use that as a way to get away with it, saying, I'm doing this to try to get money back to the village. But the way that this has been bouncing around, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. Sherry, let me check your email. Hold on. Let's see here. But I mean, what do you guys think? Like, I don't know. I would love to talk to Tio if he's willing to speak. But like, I think I agree with Sherry. If you're so ignorant, you've not been following the story. There's a problem. Oh, damn. Really, Sherry? Damn. All right. Shoot. So, Tio, it don't sound like you have a great history with women. And I'm gonna have to look this up, man. So, is it possible that Tio has problems with women? Oh, damn. So was it so him just talking that nonsense about I can't go against a black woman? I mean, I don't know who's the. Okay, so I just Googled this. So let me just look at it. I just went to Google. There's an article here. I'm just gonna put it up here. We'll read it. I mean, he can answer this too, but it says former ceasefire director's wife drops domestic violence charges. So the former ceasefire director, Tio Hardiman's wife, has dropped domestic violence charges that led to his ouster from the nationally renowned violence prevention group. She says, I love my husband and did not want to proceed with the case against him. So prosecutors has alleged that Hardiman punched and kicked his wife at their home in West suburban Hillside in May, leaving her with cuts and bruises. Hardiman denied ever laying a hand on her. Interesting. But it said the charges were dropped. Not good. But it said the charges were dropped, but still. It's because I was wondering when he said that about, well, yeah, she got a big head and she spent money, but she's a woman. I'm like, wait, what? That was weird. Like that's extremely weird. So he, if I'll go with it dropped, but PLV, I have blood cancer. She makes me sick. I don't want to live here. I don't care about what color people's skin is. She definitely needs to be booted. Prayers to you. Handling cancer is, and that's the thing that's really fucked up about this. It seems like a lot of manipulation using cancer. And I know she said that, her mother had cancer, and in the testimony. Now I'm gonna put in the video when I redo this to show the testimony. She said that it happened when she was a teenager, but the dates don't match up with that. It was looking it probably happened in her 20s, but she said she was a teenager, which is weird. Maybe a technicality, but it just seems like, are you trying to be more empathetic, or trying to tug heartstrings by saying it happened when you were younger, when you were an adult? Like, the way she speaks and the way she structures things brings you to the idea of, like, is she trying to manipulate people? But I don't know. I have no idea. Shout out to Giggity. What's going on? In Texas, it don't matter. The state picks up the charges. I don't know. I mean, yeah. And that's interesting. Like, if it had cuts and bruises, were there cuts and bruises on her? And just because you want to drop charges don't necessarily mean they will drop the charges. So I don't know. I don't have all the information. Tio, if you want to answer that, you want to talk about that. Worrying about the FBI getting called on a woman. But, I don't know. We're just asking questions on that one. But it's weird. Some people and how they structure certain things. Because I rather call the FBI on a woman that's doing something wrong rather than going into any kind of domestic violence, but we're all a little different. Prince says all these are false allegations. You can have cancer, but don't let cancer have you. Definitely. But that's what is really messed up about this, because I think at this point, my stepfather passed away from cancer. How long was that? 10 years ago. And my grandfather passed away 2 years ago. It's you gotta be a really piece of shit person to use the foundation to find ways to enrich yourself. And it looks like that's what she did. I mean, I don't know what else way to say it. It looks like she did. And even though, and like the biggest secret, like it's not even much of a secret that, okay, this guy, Kamal Woods, is benefiting from having, I guess, this position in the township. And also there's some issues with the properties. And I guess we'll talk about that later, because I know we're kind of going a little long here, but there's a lot to dig in. And also I've received some more information about her lawyer. He's kind of shady. Like everyone is shady. Everyone has some kind of issue going on, and it's difficult to kind of piece out, okay, who's actually legit, who's actually doing the right thing. It's like everyone is taking advantage of the people in Dalton, at least the people who are currently in that little circle with the mayor. Yes, definitely. Dr. Nikita has been on Alton Daniels' channel. She was on my channel. Fantastic. I mean, and this is where the pressure is coming, and we're gonna see more on how Henyard and her group is going to react. So tomorrow, I don't know if you guys are excited for. Is this going to be the release of the podcast, or you guys are going to be forcing me to listen to it? I don't know. Like, you guys you gonna be listening to the podcast? Anyone? I mean, I probably had no choice. I'm gonna check it out, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna have to deal with that, because this is where the receipts are gonna start coming out. The receipts is gonna be like, this is what everyone's lying on me, and I will bring the receipts. Now, a podcast, the podcast is a little different now. back in the day, a podcast was just audio form, but now it's audio and video. I think Spotify, you're allowed to do video too. But is this where she's going to start to let us know how we're all wrong? We're all wrong, and she is correct. Right? I don't know. We'll definitely see with that. So I want to show you before we leave. I just got this real quick about the pay scale and how she manipulated that as well. So let me just pop this up real quick. Let me see if it's the same image here. Let's see. Let me see what I got here. Oh, I gotta zoom this in. Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna show the township supervisor just to see how the pay scale works and see what we can find here. So I just zoomed it in. Let me show you guys what's going on there. Pictures. Yeah, show it. Let's see. All right. So the monthly expense schedule. Let me see. I'm going to show that. There's another one that came up here. Okay. I'm going to show this one too. Damn, I need to be a town supervisor. They're getting paid over here. Damn. So that's the monthly one, and I'm gonna show you the yearly one. So this is part-time supervisor, but the salary for the part-time is something's off. That's a lot of money. And then that I'm saying that law that she tried to put in, that ordinance of if I leave, it's gonna go back to basically you can't even live on that money. So none of you ever try to run for a supervisor because you're not gonna get paid while I get paid pretty well. And it's interesting though, like, yeah, you say like it's definitely a steady increase. Big increase. I tell you. All this is going to come with something. It has to be. And I know it's taking way too long. And I don't know how to even research on why it's taking so long. Unless, I guess the easy answer is, well, the state of Illinois has so much long history of political corruption. But this person she has to be embarrassing everyone. So it's like, why is she still there? What is going on? I don't know. But that's a big jump. And on top of that, she doesn't want to spend her money. She keeps going into the piggy bank to spend the taxpayers' money. So we're going to definitely continue to follow this story, obviously. Yeah. So she do it, and what are the people in the township are getting other than edited videos in an ice skating rink? Anything else? And then she does complain about, listen, all they do is tell about what I'm not doing. Yeah, but you're doing so many things wrong. Like you have so much of a problem here that's all we want to talk about. Yeah. Like, let's clear up all the mistakes you're doing. Yeah, that is true. The feds don't lose, and they do take a long time. They do take a long time. How do I attack you? I need to fill in this more. Email me, h@hannibalishungry.com. Email me, trying to put a lot of this together. It takes a lot of notes and screenshots clearly, and especially StreamYard. I'm gonna start to use other software where I can send this a little faster, but just by a little bit here today, kind of show you that there's some issues, and we're not just going after her because of her race. I'm black, clearly. It's not that much of a obvious. It's pretty obvious, right? The people who are criticizing her, yes, it does not matter. It does not matter. So we can definitely get more into this, and I think next week we're going to go more into the properties that there's definitely some issues with, the selling and buying of properties, and how that looks very illegal and shady, right? And the lawyer, that dude, Delgado. Is how you pronounce it? Yeah, Delgado. He's just doing pretty well. I mean, all this chaos, and he's just collecting checks, and we want to definitely bring him out there. And also going back to talk about Tommy G. If you guys can go in his comments or emails, say, hey, Hannibal's trying to reach you. I want him to get as much information about Lacey as possible. I'm sure if he's still hanging out there and he's asking questions, I'm sure he'll get it. But it'll be really awesome if we can get him off the streets. Because as much as the mayor's terrible and doing it, but this man is affecting lives. Being the chief, and how he harasses people and tries to intimidate people. We need him to. He needs to leave, but he needs that pressure. He needs the eyes to be on him so he can stop behaving this way. Because even right now, he is a serious threat to the people there. So I really want you guys to please, if you have a chance, go on Tommy G's channel, try to throw some comments. I email them, please. I know someone asked, I think Kirk earlier asked, like, how can we help? Let's get, a guy with 1.4 million subscribers. That's a pretty good channel. It looks like he gets views. He gets a lot of attention. He's going into the hardest areas of America. So he's used to this. He does that, documentary style videos. Let's get him up to date on what's going on so he can provide the kind of content that can really push. And again, the more you push, the more public this gets, the more officials have to start taking this seriously and move a little faster, because the last thing you want to know is something's happening and you're not handling it. So that's how it always works. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Brilliant disguise with the $50. I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I wish the live was a little bit smoother with the screenshots, but the problem is running this. Oh, yeah, I'm on a laptop. I need another monitor here, but I really appreciate you guys for coming through. I know it was a bit of more of like a lot of information being thrown at you at one point, but I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully more of these days, Stephanie can come in and kind of break some of this stuff down with me, so it could, at least it won't be just me rambling and talking a whole bunch. But I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you for the super chats from Brilliant Disguise, John. Thank you very much. I'll be back next week. I don't know if it'll be another live stream, maybe if something crazy happens, but I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.